Both committees expected to coordinate with each other to decide on the India strategy, the roadmap. Those parties who have at least 5 MPs, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha put together, are likely to get a place in the Central Coordination Committee, which is expected to have about 12 to 13 members. Now, other parties that will be accommodated in the state committees here, the Agenda and the Social Media Committee, are all, of course, players who have decent clout in their respective states. As India Alliance believes that BJP may announce early elections, they are now urging the formation of the committees at the earliest. Seat sharing expected to take place after formation committee. Let me cut across to Sahil Joshi joining us live for more on that. Sahil, what's a takeaway from this meeting today is a coordination committee is likely to be formed, and it's going to be state level and central level on two ends. And what we hear is the criteria is for the party to have enough clout in the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. And to think of it, I can only imagine that Aam Aadmi Party, apart from the Congress, of course, the TMC likely, and even maybe the DMK at the end of it, have some kind of clout in the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Do tell us on the key players who may be forming the coordination committee at the centre.
Well, there are 27 members in the India Alliance at this point of time, and they are also trying to rope in some more parties in the India Alliance. Out of 27, many of the parties are not hardly represented in the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha. 1 or 2 MPs or some of the parties doesn't even have a member of parliament at this point of time in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. So it is decided yesterday while discussion, Sharad Pawar suggested that the other parties, which are the smaller parties, should be accommodated in some other committees as well as the state committees. That's why the state coordination committee idea was picked up, and so there will be a national coordination committee of 11 to 13 members, in which the parties, the parties which has at least 5 members of parliaments will give names as their representatives. It is likely that people from Congress, NCP, Shiv Sena, DMK, Aam Aadmi Party, Samajwadi Party, JDU, RJD will get a place in this particular coordination committee. The rest of the smaller parties will be part of the state coordination committees, where their suggestions and their point of views will be considered. There will also be separate committees for the social media as spokesperson to plan out joint strategies on various topics. So even in those committees, these parties will be given a chance to participate. So the National Coordination Committee will be formed. Then the state coordination committees will be formed. The state coordination committees will discuss the seat sharing formulas at the state level, and then it will be communicated at the national level, and then final decision will be taken at the National Coordination Committee. There will be no convener at this point of time. The idea of the convener is likely to be dropped because no one wants to take that particular responsibility, it seems, because the JDU, Nitish Kumar, the Bihar Chief Minister, has already said that he is not interested in becoming the convener. He tried to pass it on to the Congress. It seems that some of the parties have opposition for making Mallikarjun Kharge or someone from the Congress as the convener, and that's why right now this idea has been dropped. It has also been said that once the coordination committee is formed, the rest of the things, specifically with respect to the joint campaign strategy, the strategy on various issues, should be immediately sorted out. By 2nd of October is what being pushed by leaders like Mamta Banerjee, that some kind of formulated strategy should be kept in front of the people. Some of the leaders are also pushing Congress that even before the state elections in the state assemblies, there should be some kind of an action, joint action on the streets as well, on the issues like price rise, unemployment, or even the topics which will resonate with the voters. So all these things will be discussed, but the important part is that the coordination committee will be finalized in this particular meeting. There will be no logo unveiling. It is suggested that some suggestion objection should be asked from the general public, and then finally the logo should be finalized. So this is what it seems that is going to happen. The meeting has already begun at around 10:30. It will end by 1:30. Then there will be a lunch, and around 3 o'clock they will have a joint press conference as we have seen in the past in Patna and in Bangalore.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see because I'm sure the 27 parties, many of those parties there will be vying for a spot in the coordination committee. I'm going to take you through some of the details that might just pan out in this very meeting with the coordination committee to be decided. Here's what are the key takeaways from the India bloc meet today. The committees will be made at the central and the state level, the coordination committee. In fact, it will be set up to coordinate with one another at the central level. As we know that the Central Coordination Committee will be having about 12 to 13 members who will be from various different parties. And the parties with about 5 MPs, both in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, will be the ones who will get preference. We also know that the stress now is on forming the committees at the earliest. Of course, it's got to roll out their agenda. The India bloc now has to begin with their works on the ground. So they've got to form this committee at the earliest, but it's not going to be an easy affair because there are 27 players. Seat sharing discussion after forming the committee is going to be the second key decision that will be taken because every state, these parties, the 27 parties, are facing off with one another. So to come out with a pact and to agree on sharing seats in the Lok Sabha without actually having to dent their own party's prospects is going to be a key takeaway from this meeting, surely. Thank you very much, Sahil, for joining us on that.